Good morning. This is Elise Adams of LisaAdams.com here with you for another Excuse Busters show. I've pulled over in the middle of my morning commute because this morning I want to talk about a pretty big subject, and that is our limiting beliefs. I know that there is tons out there written and spoken on this subject, but it's come home really powerfully to me in a couple things that have just exploded into my own mind and opened up new possibilities that I had for a very long time given up on. Just in the last couple days, that's opened up for me. And I've posted about it on Facebook, and I've gotten so many comments from you that I want to just stay in this space for a little bit longer and talk about our limiting beliefs as one of the biggest excuses that so many of us have for not pushing forward in that particular action. It shows up in procrastination, putting off that thing that we just wonder if we're worthy of, if we're good enough at, if we have credibility to do. All of these things that when we run up against them, for many of us, time and time again, we start stopping because we believe that we just can't do it. Okay, let's get really practical. What am I talking about? I'm specifically talking about my struggle to go ahead and write a book. I've gotten so many encouraging responses from many of you out there that are working on the same thing, that are struggling with the same limitation of just taking that time and starting to get it down on paper. And so much encouragement when I've posted about some beliefs I've had about being a great writer versus a good writer. I've thought for a long time that there's no way I'm going to be one of the greats. I didn't start at 15. I haven't been mastering this skill for years and years and years. So I put it off. I'm like, what do I have to say? Maybe I don't say it well. Blogging really isn't writing. Just a whole lot of limiting beliefs that turned into excuses that turned into roadblocks because I just haven't done it. And the minute that I took the bold step, I had to do it on Facebook because somehow writing it out there public makes it really real for me. And I know some of you feel the same way. The minute I put it out there, I am not letting this limiting belief hold me back any longer. I'm stepping out. I'm working on it. I'm putting it down on paper every day. It broke open for me. And I think this could work for you too, since it worked for me. And I have a really cool quote that sort of goes along with it, and then I'll talk with you a little bit more about how I think it connects to this. It's from Brian Tracy, and one of my great Facebook friends posted it yesterday. And this is what it says. You cannot control what happens to you, but you can control your attitude toward what happens to you. And in that, you will be mastering change rather than allowing it to master you. I think the excuse that change is uncomfortable, we try and avoid it or speed it up or control it somehow, gets in our way when it comes to these limiting beliefs. Because one of the things that comes up immediately, as soon as I identify a limiting belief and wipe it away, I come up against this a lot in my life. The next excuse is, how come you didn't do that sooner? Why did you stay enslaved to that idea for so long? Who are you to blast through this now? And that's where this quote really has meaning for me. Mastering change rather than allowing it to master you. So what? So what? We've believed these things for so long. So what? It took us however long to blast through this excuse, to get past this procrastination, to finally learn how to have the self-discipline to show up and show up and show up and show up and show up no matter what. That's okay. Master the change. That's what I'm telling me these days. And I'm passing it along to you. Let's master this changing season. And the mastering of that change means to me an attitude of just grabbing a hold of it. Oh, I wasn't right there? Let's grab a hold of this next thing. Oh, I didn't get this. Let's grab a hold of the next key piece that will move me forward. That's what moving forward is, people. One of the things that used to be a weakness in my life was that I rapidly jumped from one idea to the other. Well, with this concept in mind, mastering change rather than allowing it to master me, I can just change that into a positive. Because one of the great things about being able to change and change and change is that we're correctable, we're teachable, we're open. So my challenge to you, through all that deep, tough stuff, my challenge to you today is to blast through the excuse of whatever limiting belief is just sort of right here. Just sort of, how am I going to get around this? I don't believe I can do it. I don't think I can. It's too hard. It's too tough. It's too different. It's too new. And I tell you, people, everything that I've been doing in the last few weeks and then years, the last few years, since I've come out of homelessness and abuse and despair, everything has been brand new. Everything has. And I've had to come to the conclusion that that's okay. It's okay to be messy and imperfect and struggling as long as I learn to master the change. Think about it. In my own life, if I had been concerned with how fast things were changing, I'd still be back stuck on welfare, stuck in some really damaging relationships, wallowing around in despair. One of the things my husband loves to say, and I think it's so funny, is that, the bad news is you're going to survive. Think about that for a second. The bad news is you're going to make it through this. So the only question we have is how we're going to get through this. An attitude, sometimes I get mad every time I get reminded about how important attitude is. But the truth is, the faster I just accept the change, the faster I jump into that ice cold swimming pool with both feet, knowing that in 3 or 4 minutes I'm going to warm up. Knowing that in 3 or 4 minutes or 10 or 15 minutes or a couple days, this isn't going to be new anymore. Then there'll be a new thing to confront and to worry about and to get past and to get through. That's what going from nothing to something is all about. That's what going from something to something bigger and better is all about. That's what becoming a better parent is about. Becoming a better wife. Finding and creating and building results in your business. It's all about getting comfortable with change. Mastering it instead of letting it master you. This is Elise Adams with another episode of the Excuse Busters Show. I just want to say, have a blessed day. Power through your excuses today. Don't let anything hold you back. Let's celebrate our victories together. Come join me on LaceyAdams.com or my Facebook page, and I look forward to hearing about your victories today.